walk the earth. So, I've had a lot of time to think about organized stalking and deal with it because I've been a victim for so long, and I've had a one-on-one with these because I became a rape and a gang rape victim by them, and I really begin to understand that I believe our government has been infiltrated by what I call dissenters. And, their war was 50 years ago. They've had a lot of time. They brought the scientists and the psychologists over here from Nazi Germany. And I do believe that the Satanists have infiltrated our government. And that's, why we're getting what we're getting. So I know you had mentioned to me before that you, about the Freemasons, you were talking to me about the Freemasons and infiltration and what you thought about that. Because this is an ongoing global crime. It's not stopping. It's growing. It just doesn't go away. It's just ongoing, and there's so many of them, and they can follow you anywhere. And I even read an article the other day that the Vatican stated that Satanism is in fashion in Rome. They actually have 800 cults with over 600,000 members in Italy of Satanists. So obviously there's tons of them, and if you move from one place to another, they can follow you. So I think 9/11 and everything that happened there all ties in with what is going on with organized stalking in this country and other places. And I agree with you on that. There's funding coming from somewhere because it is a major campaign. And it just doesn't stop. It just keeps going. And it's just devastating a lot of lives. But people are really taking an interest in the subject now because it is growing, and they can see on the internet that it's everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, in my harassment, there is strong military involvement and Masonic involvement. In the early stages, a lot of vehicles that were gang stalking me had various Masonic symbols on them, decals. It was either that generic compass and square, mm-hmm. or a Shriner, where it's the crescent moon and a star and a saber, and it was kind of creepy. They would have places that I frequent would have there would be a prime parking spot open for me, and I could picked up that they were set up spots. And then right next to the empty spot would be like a nice new Cadillac or Lincoln with a Shriner emblem. And that was happening all the time. And then there would be a car tailgating me, and I pull over a lot of times when they tailgate me just to, so I don't let them anger me too much. And then as it's gone by, there might be a Masonic emblem on the bumper or on the trunk of the car, so I was getting really strong Masonic involvement in the beginning, and there are stories on the internet of people that used to be Masons that left it, and when the descriptions of the different harassments that they're going through is identical to mine. Some of the same exact tactics are used against me. And these are people that were on the inside. They used to be Masons and, were either like thrown out or quit, and for various reasons got on their crap list, and they're saying that these are the Masons that are doing this. So
the Masons and the Satanists, it's like they're all networking. I call it a network of criminals.
Yeah, the Masonry is, the core of it is satanic.
Mm-hmm.
There was one big named Pike. He has a book. It was it's like the Freemason Bible. One of them is Dogma and Morals. And it admits that, they talk of the light bringer or light bearer, and that he describes that as being Lucifer, and that is their god.
Their master.
Yeah, their master. They're the one who enlightens them. Yeah, so it's, if the head of their group will print a book that says that their master is Lucifer, then I tend to believe it.
That's really scary, you know, because I know that organized stalkers use a lot of satanic ritual abuse tactics and cult tactics, and as you said, the Masons and all these other groups are involved. So I call it the network of criminals, and that's why they can get away with it. There's so many of them against one of us at a time, and they are looking for the master. You know, they're waiting for their master to arise. I hear from so many people, and many people believe this is a New World Order movement to move into the one world government, to move into the one world religion. What do you think?
Yes, I think that's pretty much it. People that oppose it or speak out. I wouldn't be surprised if NSA supercomputers were looking for keywords. They pick up they can tap every phone in existence, cell phone, landline. So, and the supercomputers, you know, look for keywords, you know, like bomb or bin Laden or whatever. And I believe that that's happening all over the world right now to search for dissension. So.
Well, dissension to them is not going with the program, you know, not joining Satan,
right,
and hanging on to your faith and your beliefs and your morals. They don't want that. I mean, they really want to corrupt you. My perpetrators say for me it's either suicide or prostitution, and they really want to corrupt me. You know, they want to change me from being the nice little girl mom and dad raised to disrespecting morals and values and forgetting my religious upbringing, you know, or what my parents taught me, or to say please or thank you or whatever. You know, they want this horrible, rude person who has no regard for life, has no regard for animals. I have a love for animals. It's unbelievable. And they want me to have no regard anymore for the animals that I have or the animals, you know, outside in the wild. They want everything black and dark. You know, they want you to become a slob. They want you just to live in darkness and misery and depression. And that's all a sign of Satan. There's no happiness with Satan. So why don't you go on, we're going to change the subject for a minute because I want to hear a little bit more about your story and what's going on with it. I know that we've talked about the parking and how you get people with symbols on their cars next to you. What else is going on with you? Because every time I talk to you, you usually have a very rough night because of the electronic weaponry. Why don't you tell us what's going on?
Well, last night, I had a vivid dream, and that goes along with the electronic harassment while you're sleeping. But I woke up with an electronic hangover, which I don't usually get too often. I mean, they rarely let me have a single good night of sleep, but I usually, you know, if I'm planning something, you know, important to me, or I'm doing something for the cause, like this interview, they'll try to throw a monkey wrench into it somehow. Either they make me miss the interview or just, you know, give me a horrible night's sleep, and that was the case last night. They try to destroy everything you do, and they have you under 24-hour day surveillance. And you know, they're using technology that would just blow the public's mind if they really knew all the available technology that they have.